केंद्र सरकार में मंत्री श्रीमती स्मृति जुबिली ईरानी जी और सिटी संगठन का अध्यक्ष संजय के जैन, डिप्टी चेयरमैन श्री राजकुमार, वाइस चेयरमैन डी.एल. शर्मा, आज जिन लोगों को पुरस्कार मिला सभी मित्र, इस विशेष अधिवेशन में आए हुए सभी प्रतिनिधि बंधुगण and my dear sisters and brothers who are all participating in the conference today, Disruptions and Innovations for Sustainable Growth. The heading is little inspiring, but at the same time, the moment you hear disruption is an obstruction which will lead to destruction. But disruption can also be a positive thing, coming with new ideas, new innovations, and taking the country and humanity forward. The Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi, has given a three-line advice to all. He said, reform, perform, and transform. Transform the nation, transformation. In every walk of life, there has to be transformation. Ultimately, what for transformation? Transformation of the living condition of the people to make their life better. That is the purpose of the reforms. I'm happy that the reforms are catching up. My dear friends, before I speak, I can share with you, I have been to some of the foreign countries recently. I have been to Latin America, I have been to Africa, I have been to Paris, and I have been to Europe countries also. Everywhere there is tremendous enthusiasm, interest about India. I can proudly say the entire world is looking towards India. And I met the US President and also French President, then German Chancellor, then African Kenya President, African Union, everywhere, everybody is appreciative of India's reforms, India's growth story, and India's marching forward on the economic front. That is the interest. Before becoming Vice President, I was Minister in Urban Development, dealing with smart cities, housing, and the metro and all. There was tremendous enthusiasm by many people. Ambassador after ambassador used to come to me and say that we want to invest in India. India is the most favorite destination for investment. And you know this, what has been said by World Bank, World Economic Forum, ADB, Moody's ratings, not Modi's ratings, Moody's ratings also. Everybody is confirming that if India, if it continue this pace of reforms, it will become the third largest economy in the world. That's what everybody is saying. Growth is possible not by politicians. They will lay policies. They will give you programs. At the end of the day, you people who are working in the field, you have to really make it possible. I would like to compliment all of you for the contribution you are making to the growth story of India. My congratulations to all of you. I'm extremely pleased to inaugurate this Diamond Jubilee celebration under Global Textile Conclave 18. The theme of the conclave, Disruption, Innovation for Sustainable Growth, is quite appropriate. The need of the hour for the textile industry is to adopt new innovative technologies in tune with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution. My dear sisters and brothers, India today meets 14% of world's textile production and is the second largest exporter with 5.2% global share and 25% in cotton yarn export. We are also the second largest producer and exporter of cotton, largest producer of jute and silk. India also accounts for 63% of the looms and 37% world area under cotton cultivation. India is the only country which has presence in the whole value chain and manufacturing of textile products from all fibers. I am told that the textile industry contributes 3+% to the GDP and fetches over US dollars 37 billion in foreign exchange earnings. India has a huge potential to increase its presence in the textile sector. We should not be satisfied with the growth and feel that, oh, we are already this much and all. There is vast scope because in India you have human resource, you have intellect, you have knowledge, and if you upgrade the little skills and provide opportunity, they will excel well. India once upon a time was known as Viswaguru. Students from abroad, they used to come to Nalanda, Takshashila, Pushpagiri and other places then at the time. And this has been confirmed not only by our people, but historians like Pahian, Yuan Swang. They came and they wrote about the India story. That being the case, there is intellect, there is knowledge available. I was just now told that the women who are working here after joining the workforce, they got graduated. That means if you give them an opportunity, if you give them a little encouragement, they will definitely excel. The knowledge is not only in technocrats or IT people or only doctors or actors or all. Even the tractor running farmers also have the knowledge and understanding in this country. The taddy tapper, the weaver, the fisherman, the goldsmith, everyone has got some talent. This has been proved, but only thing is we should provide them opportunity. That's why the Prime Minister is talking about inclusive growth. The country as such has accepted, irrespective of political differences. They all come together, and then we are talking of inclusive growth. Bank accounts are open for all. I was there as a minister at the time, and PM said banks account will be open for all. I said, okay, we'll be able to complete it within our tenure. He said, within our tenure? I said, thing which could not be done in 58 years, if it can be done in 4 years, fine. He said, no, it should be done 15, 16 months. Prime Minister is Prime Minister. Everybody kept quiet. But my dear friends, now you are aware, within that 16 months period, 36 crore bank accounts have been opened. 36 crore. By the same bank employees, no OT. OT means overtime allowance. Everybody did their duty. And then got this mighty work of covering 36 crore people. That is the direction and leadership that is to be provided to the society. कुछ लोग हैं, of course, ये तो लोकतंत्र में हम लोग, we are all in democracy. There will be some kids, some people start saying, अरे पैसा नहीं है तो बैंक अकाउंट खोलने में मतलब है क्या सर? Some people started saying this, sir, and there's no money. What is the fun of opening a bank account? But the people who are talking like that, they realize the importance of bank account, I think on November 8th, 2016, after hearing Prime Minister addressing the nation. Everyone started looking to their drivers and cooks and vendors. Bhai, aapke paas hai to bank account hai na? You have bank account? Can I keep the money for some time? Then later, when this so-called demonetization or notebandi or whatever has taken place, some people started saying, matlab kya hai? Pura paisa bank mein wapas aaya. Pura paisa bank mein wapas aaya. The entire money has come back to banks. Haan. I also feel money has come back to banks. And I understand the purpose was to see that the entire money comes into system. पैसा बैंक में पहुंच गया, पता के साथ, पिता के साथ और पति के साथ बैंक में पहुंच गया. पहले जो बेडरूम में था, which was lying in bedroom and bathroom under the pillow, that has reached the bank. What is required is now for the Reserve Bank and income tax people, finance ministry, to finalize the scrutiny at the earliest and declare how much is there within the system, how much is joining now in the system. What is required for a healthy economy is everything should be within the system. The problem of now liquidity crunch and all, why it has come? Let us be frank. Because of the actions of few black sheep, the entire industry is now getting affected. It's a very serious problem. All of us have to introspect. Politicians have to introspect. Industry also has to introspect. Businessmen, few people, they have taken the system for a ride. And banks lent money left and right. I don't know whether they're keeping their eyes open or closing their eyes open. Reserve Bank also did not do anything at that time. And now, they have tightened everything. And the result, there are problems. And these problems has to be analyzed, understood, and Reserve Bank and Government of India must have a regular, continuous dialogue. There is no question of who is powerful, who is final. Final are the people, their interest. All these systems are created to facilitate the people's welfare. So they have to have a dialogue within their boardrooms rather than discussing through media, and then come to some solutions addressing the actual problems. And not only this, going by this experience of a world also is moving faster. Everybody is now focusing on growth, and we have an open system now. You have LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. If you use LPG properly, you can run motors, you can have cooking gas, and if you mishandle LPG, what will happen, you all know, I need not explain. So what is happening is some people are misusing this openness, free trade, or investments, and reforms. So we have to be extra careful and find out the methods. And I would urge upon, I have been saying it in the recent past in other international forums also, the United Nations, the world community, they must all take lead to see that we have agreement on exchange of information with regard to bank account in different countries, whenever there is a specific request is made. Second, we must also come to an understanding for extradition of the economic fugitives. Some people who cheat here, loot here, and then run away. Few people. They made the entire system suspect before the public. So they have to be taken care, and the country should never give them shelter, any country. I'm not mentioning any particular individual or any country. I'm talking of the systemic improvement that are required with this creation of wealth. Otherwise, public, ordinary people are thinking, how these people have looted us, how this system, what is the fun of reforms? This sort of discussion is going on. So the world community must come to an early understanding and work on this, along with, of course, the other issue, terror, which we are not directly connected today in this. On the terror also, yesterday we have laid the foundation for the corridor between India and Pakistan to reach the Guru Nanak Dev's Gurudwara. 550 years of these celebrations we are doing it. The idea is that world community requires peace. Peace is the prerequisite for progress. If you have tension, you cannot have attention. Simple. So the world must come together to develop peace. India, I can tell you proudly, we are all aware, India was never an aggressor, never attacked any country in spite of being called as Vishwaguru, in spite of your GDP. Now we are talking of 7%, 8%. It was somewhere around 16, 17% before the invasions and all. But never attacked any country. All Tam, Dick and Harry came and attacked us, looted us, cheated us, ruined us also. We never attacked any country. That is the culture. We want peace. So peace is the prerequisite for progress. Not only even with country to country, but even industry, even the society, even for individual mind also, peace is very much required. My dear friends, India should recapture the past glory in textile sector. When we look at the history and evolution of the textile industry in the country, we find references to weaving and spinning in Vedic texts also. The need of the hour is to modernize the textile industry, which is the second largest employer after agriculture. Agriculture is our basic culture of India. That should be protected. That also is in problems now. I'm happy you are talking of the farmer's welfare also. And some new innovations are coming to help the farmer, who is the backbone. And then after agriculture, it is the textile industry, which is the largest employer. So we have to really modernize the textile industry. 21% of employment is coming through the sector, around 110 million people. See, we also know that India is an exporter of finest cotton, silk, and Australian materials to other countries before colonization by the Britishers. The exported Indian materials were also famous for their workmanship and fineness. All that was virtually destroyed during the British rule. Under 1817, Ferguson and Company was established with 20,000 spinners and 100 looms at an investment of rupees 2 lakh pounds at Calcutta. At the time of independence, India had 409 textile mills, and today there are over 3,500 textile mills and several thousands of textile units in different segments. Successive governments since independence have extended various concessions and taken many initiatives to spur the growth of textile industry. I am aware that flagship programs such as Technology Mission and Cotton Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme for Integrated Textile Parks have fueled the growth of the textile industry in India. Allocating 17,822 crores for Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme, TUFS, rupees 6,006 crores for boosting garment exports, extending the scheme for integrated textile parks, facilitating coastal movement of cotton and launching PowerTex India for the benefit of the power loom sector were among the measures taken by the Government of India in recent years. According to projections, the Indian textile and clothing industry has the potential to grow at a CAGR of 14% and reach US 300 billion by 2025 from US 150 billion achieved in the year 17. These export textiles and apparels are expected to reach US 82 billion by 2021. Taking advantage of the Digital India program, the Indian fashion retailers online market is poised to grow to US $30 billion by 2020 from the current level of around US 7 to 9 billion. With huge investments being made under Technology Upgradation Fund Scheme and policy support from both the government and various state governments, the industry no doubt is poised for growth. The exporters are expected to receive a boost in the wake of free trade with ASEAN and the proposed agreement with China. Coming back to the theme of conference, it should be remembered that the textile industry played a pioneering role in the Industrial Revolution by introducing the first mechanical weaving machine in 1784. The industry has constantly adopted technological advancements during the second and third industrial revolutions. With the world moving towards a fourth industrial revolution based on cyber physical systems, the Indian textile industry must take lead in Industry 4.0 in the view of the distinct advantage enjoyed by us in the IT sector. The textile industry needs to fully tap the potential of the IoT cloud, artificial intelligence, and big data analytics. It is high time for the industry to establish Textile Industry 4.0, learning factory in all major clusters, adopting hub and spokes model with hub focusing on advanced training and spokes focus on basic training. Several leading companies in India are already equipped with these technologies, and India must press home the advantage. I am told that the policies relating to hang iron obligation, Handloom Reservation Act have become obsolete and causing a lot of hardship for spinning and weaving sectors. The government would examine the matter and take appropriate decision. I am sure that the government would also be looking to expedite the conclusion of the FTA with the EU and other countries. The rising incomes, increase in population, growth in building, construction, health sector, online retail trade will drive the demand exponentially in the domestic market. India definitely has a competitive advantage in terms of abundant availability of raw material, skilled manpower, manufacturing competitiveness, huge spinning, weaving, processing, and garment manufacturing facilities. These are our advantages. Finally, before conclusion, I would like to advise the industry to focus on backward and forward integration, value addition, and diversifying products. It should also consolidate MSME sector by establishing hub and spoke model of cluster development facilities, give major thrust to skill development, upgrade technology, and adopt Industry 4.0. The industry also need to adopt land manufacturing systems to remain globally competitive. We are, as I told you, we are living in a WTO regime and also LPG regime. You can't complain, sir, we are at a disadvantage and all. Unlike any other nation, India has the unique advantage of combating traditional workmanship with modern methods. We not only have to showcase the wide range to the world, but become a global leader in textile manufacturing and export. The technology is on. I remember as a student activist, we used to take rallies to protest against computerization those days. And the slogan I remember, automation is anti-nation. Automation was anti-nation. So we have to learn by experience. You must take note of the changes that are happening on the technology front. The new ideas, good practices, and we must be willing to adopt those new ideas and best practices so that you will be able to face the competition. So this is what is required. And my dear friends, ethics in business and standards in products are very much required. If you want to stand the competition, and if you want to get the support of the government also, the industry must also have an ethics code. And this black sheep, whoever is there, they have to be identified by the industry itself, and they should be kept a little away from the system. Otherwise, because of few black sheep, the entire industry gets bad name. So we have to have a self-code eliminating such people, and then we must also understand what are the policies, and government must always interact with the industry, with the people, and also try to address the genuine problems. When the GST was formulated, I remember delegations from Coimbatore, they came and met me, particularly small scale and medium sector. They gave some ideas. I passed on the ideas to Prime Minister. He was positive. Some of them have been addressed. Now we have learned so much out of this experience. When GST was introduced, there were many people, in principle everybody was saying, but privately they were also opposing. Okay, I don't understand. One side they are saying, good idea, and the other side opposition and all. So that is a position we have to understand. You can't help it. In a democracy, these things will happen. But point at the end of the day, world is now appreciating your GST and willing to follow GST. What is GST at the end of the day? You are trying to bring in everybody into tax net. If you have income, then you will pay tax. So, problems hoga shuru mein. Why problems? There were problems. They would have been better studied also. But at the end of the day, you know, any reform will have some problems. Temporary pain for long-term gain. Temporary pain for long-term gain. That is the saying. Some people told me, sir, even this GST, this demonetization, all the doses were given at one stage. I said, Babu, if you are having some disease, you need to take a hard medicine. And if somebody is attacked with cancer, then chemotherapy is the answer. Then he said, sir, chemotherapy means we will lose our hair. I said, no, choice is yours. Whether you want to have a hair fall or total fall, you decide yourself. These reforms are needed. In what way they are adopted, or there some other better methods, there can be difference of opinion, nothing wrong in that. But we should not question the very reforms itself. And moreover, if you pay tax, there won't be any tension in your mind, and you can pay attention to your work. Otherwise, आप हमेशा सोचते रहेंगे वो कब आएगा, रात को आएगा, क्या होगा, वो बेड के नीचे है उसका क्या होगा. Why all this? Let us live in peace and happily. Let us develop a sort of a relationship with the system. Let everybody follow the system, rules and regulations. If there are difficulties, it is the duty of the government. I'm happy that you have a dynamic minister who understands the subject and try to address, and she has the ability to communicate and also convince other colleagues in the government also. So that being the case, this sort of conferences, these conferences should not be only for a goody-goody speeches and then applauding each other. That's okay, that is required also. But at the same time, you must understand, the government must understand what are the practical problems, and industry must understand what are the constraints for the government, and then work together. That is the way forward. If we work together, we can definitely take the country forward. I am very much sure about it. And at the same time, at the end of the day, my final advice is let everybody bring in transparency and accountability into system. With taking advantage of digitization, the way forward is bringing transparency and then accountability. That is the way forward. I hope that you all people understand this and follow. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.